So if you lived in China right now, what would your daily life be like? Let's take these stories one by one. Okay. Variety is reporting that on Friday night, China's top administrative body, I believe it's called the State Council or State Commission or something is what it's called. They have ordered all movie theaters in the country to be reopened. And indoor exhibitions, conferences, things of that nature, also reopened in China.
Well, it's the Italian virus from what I'm told. So there's nothing to worry there.
Nothing to worry about. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I found this. This was the best read that I found. At Fortune magazine had this. It's a series of anecdotes. 7 people, 3 of them are Americans, I believe. Did you guys read these?
No.
Okay. 3 of them are Americans that are working in China right now. And so they're talking to individual people, 3 of them Americans, about what their daily life is like. And one of the things that comes out here is that several Chinese cities, including the capital, Beijing, never did a lockdown. That they were just going to work and out to eat with masks. But a buddy of mine whose father, actually, I'll tell you who told me this. Daniel told me this. His dad has been doing work in Asia for decades. Travels to Japan and China all the time. And he says, Daniel Horowitz's dad says that they wear masks and stuff in public all the time because they're just dealing with outbreaks, and it's just part and parcel with their daily lives. So it's not something that's a major deal to them to be in Beijing or Wuhan or any of these cities, or Japan for that matter, and just see all kinds of scores of people any time of the day, year round, wearing masks just because they have to deal with so many outbreaks and stuff all the time.
So they don't stop their life and economies and
no
livelihoods.
No. I mean, I read Americans living there, working there, saying this.
They had more freedom in China, is what you're saying, than they did in the United States?
They could all be lying. That's possible. That is possible. But no, they said they were going out to eat and stuff like the whole time. There were some minimal restrictions. If there was an outbreak, they would maybe shut stuff down for like a day or two. But you know, in this magazine, an American says they live and work in Beijing. The city never shut down.
Let me try to connect the dots here. So, big country, different regions, not necessarily all the same. So one solution doesn't fit all.
The whole country's not Wuhan?
Huh.
The whole country's not Wuhan.
Wow, that's radical.
This whole country is New York City, apparently. Yeah.
The smoldering pile of ash known as Wisconsin would like to call in and disagree with you, Todd.
I mean, I would think Beijing, like I didn't buy like the propaganda of Xi going to Wuhan a few months ago. Remember that? Without his mask? These are communists. That could all be staged. But when an American says to an American publication, I live and work in the capital of China. I mean, you would think if there was any place that they were going to be like under the cover of darkness, hide out. Because they may not care. The Chinese council, their version of the Politburo, pardon me, may not care about the people of Wuhan, but they care about themselves. That Fortune piece, when I read that one, Mama had to die tonight when I read that one. That's, I was looking for some of the old gangster rap I used to listen to back in the day, and I wanted to hurt people when I read that. An American claiming that they didn't shut Beijing down. How about this one? Now, this one I think is sketch, okay? Because I couldn't find this from even though CBS is reporting this, they're getting this from China themselves. So this one is sketch. But China is claiming schools are reopened in Wuhan. It was the last city to have them closed. And the CBS story includes pictures of school children returning in their uniforms. There's video there, which if you're a BlazeTV subscriber, you're watching that right now. All right. And you can see some of the kids are wearing the little kids are wearing like these makeshift masks. And I'm inclined to believe that this is true because if you were going to fake something, you wouldn't fake putting a bowl with a mask around all of your elementary school kids. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was just straight up propaganda, like these kids would be like, spitting on their hands and high-fiving, you know what I'm saying? And wrestling around. The fact that you're seeing the precautions going on there and they look like an SNL skit from the 70s, is why I included this. I'm inclined to believe there's some truth in this because some of the safety get-ups that they're making these kids wear in Wuhan are just utterly redonkulous. So I'm inclined to think that this is true.
Well, including crowds that big, when they're in that picture and they're all spaced, I mean, honestly, Joseph Goebbels is blushing with the notion of 6 feet separation. I mean, that is one of the greatest pieces of propaganda in all human history, because what happens when all those people get up and go where they're going next?
Right.
Come on.
Right. This is a story Aaron highlighted one side of it in his montage today. China has allowed Elon Musk, he's got 2 plants, one in Shanghai, China, the other in California. And China allowed him to fully open and staff his Shanghai, China operation, back in early March, I want to say. And California still won't let him open up his U.S. plant. So yesterday, America's the closest thing we have to Tony Stark went on Twitter and basically said, I'm going all civil disobedience. We're opening up. I don't care what the state says. And you can arrest me if you want, basically.
I'm not even sure what you wanted me at this point. I don't like this. When he has to go on social media and say, just leave everybody else alone, arrest me if you have to. When this is going on in China, and we have these Democrat governors that are clearly okay with tanking their state's economy as long as it hurts Donald Trump.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
That's what I mean. I've reached the point after 2+. I don't know what to tell you. You all seem to want the worst case scenario. Well, you're going to get it.
I mean, how many moguls in the world are more vulnerable right now than Elon Musk is? Don't you believe? Especially, he's out there trashing the panic porn and everything on Twitter a couple weeks ago. Don't you believe if they were yanking scores of dead bodies out of his Shanghai, China plant, they'd have hung him with that? Don't you believe that? Absolutely, they would have hung him with that.
Of course.
Only 6 of Apple's 271 U.S. stores are going to be opened by next week. Only 6. We're opened. This was a few days ago, so opening now. Yeah. Okay? All right. Only 6 out of 271. Every single, same story tells you, every single one of Apple's stores in China and throughout Asia are all open. Disney opened up its Chinese theme park in Shanghai yesterday. Had temperature checks. You had to wear masks. And they had social distancing boxes. Other than that, every ride open, every restaurant open, everything open. They could only bring in 30% of their capacity, so they could only see 30,000 visitors to Shanghai Disneyland yesterday. And you know how many people showed up? 30,000. It's sold out. They had to turn people away.
Meanwhile, there's police tape around your neighborhood playground in Wisconsin.